Kuhluleni nebesilwane, kuhluleni nebengwazi siyanivusela siphinde siyanemukela ehlelweni lapha sisikhona People and Places. Lomhlake nebenkosi lenhle ehlelweni sinaye lapha umnumzane SAKHILE DLAMINI, Private Secretary to His Majesty King Yemaswati III, aphindze nebenkosi lenhle Director Administration within the King's Office. Bekunene ke sibonga kakhulu bangwane ukuthi umlangeni asihloniphe aze ade ufika la. Umlangeni simcela nje nebenkosi lenhle simcela ngesimanga sekusingumfundisi walapha eJC. Sithi umlangeni asekathi osibonisa ngoba sesibonile ukuthi ingceko esikhathi esiningi tiyayingena indzaba yepolitiki. Umbuzo lomkhulu uthi kufanele into ingceko ukuthi ingene kupolitiki futhi ke kanjalo nebenkosi lenhle nene siyakuvusela ehlelweni.
Nabo babukele emakhaya lababukela khona ngibonga ukuthi Mvuleni uvaccinatile nawe ngikhuluma ngokukhululeka nje lapha ngoba nawe phephile Mvuleni.
Ngosi dlamle kunene sengichazile lapha ticuta yakho lapha tase King's Office Private Secretary to His Majesty sikhonda lesikhulu leso ephinde futhi ube Director Administration singangena nje mhlambe enkulumeni yethu Nkosi lapha siconze khona windoda lekhanya ukuthi esikhathi esiningi mhlambe bakhanisile batangisita nje bangifakele speech sengwenyama lapha ahumsha khona umlangeni ngeke ngibone Nkosi lapha uhumsha engwenyameni
and the effects of COVID she had
Really, I cannot say ngiyakhona if maybe bangangikala bathi naba labashayela imoto boshumaka leto tilwane leto nabangena la racing bangena by weight letside nabaphuma kuthiwa they shed some kilos because of the stress and the pressure of the moment. A small mistake will crash the car and might lead to death. So yonke focus and attention yabo ikuleyo moment leyo. So I cannot really say ngiyakhona because every day to me is a new day and it's a stressful day under pressure, knowing that I am in the sport where a mistake can cause quite a lot of damage. But I just believe as a believer, ngiyakholwa it is the grace of God that sustains me and I'm able to perform my duties, as expected.
Dlamini Nkosi ndakuxoxela indzaba lapha empeleni ngase nami uyakhumbula sengike ngasebenza enkosini.
Yeah.
Sekuyendeka ngelinye ilanga kukhanya ukuthi babeshabango lebeka humsha leso sikhathi. Uyaphuma. Paul Shabang uyaphuma naphuma ngwenyama usawucha so sichawe so tawungena lapha awungengene ngikhuluma na kushisa lokushoko ngithi siyaqala iqhala ukuqala kuvuseleni cha ngikushaya kamnanzi ngithi ngisingiphakamisa emehlo ngibone babeshaba ngangena eminyango ngoba ngeva kuyashisa lapha ngithi ikhuluma inkosi angisayiva ke lapha ngibuke Shabang isinayi sakhuluma ngithi Your Majesty may I report that Mr. Shabang is back. Uyabona Nkosi ngabuka lesimo ukuthi uyabona la loluhlazo ngalo lenta la lemhlaba la one memory yami yathi hamba iyekela
Yeah.
wesithu lesingisi wena Nkosi wena wehlukile wena uvela uthathe ngalesiswati ujikise lesingisi mina ufuna usikude lapha kungene uje ube siswati la uguquke
Yeah.
angithi ke thina ngilohlobo lokuthina usukuya khona sesi what you call ngisa process sesive singathini ke lapha cha kudumisa nje Nkosi ukuthi siyawubona umsebenzi wakho empeleni muhle kakhulu Nkosi awusiyo lomncanyana ngoba nanyalo ngithi humshele nje ngedwana na uhumsha lapha ukhale by the time uhumsha wena ngicela sengilalele wena sengahlulekile mina ukuthumshela ngihlalele endlini siyadumisa Nkosi nekubonga nje Nkosi ukuthi ufikile kulolu hlelo kepha ke ngicela kubika nje Nkosi ukuthi ihlelo le People and Places ihlelo lapha sibuta noma ngayini khona Nkosi sibuta noma ngayini khona Nkosi ngakho ke vele ukuthi angicolela Nkosi lapha sike saba nabo babe magawugawu ngihlelo lolo sambuta kakhulu sibili kwase kwafika isikhathi lapha ngathi ngibuka khona bo Facebook ngeva bathi batangisukela Masube ngombuta kakhulu nawe inkosi bengicela ukuthi ungixolele kakhulu inkosi nalabanye abakubukelako badle ukuthi ngeke dlamna kunene nginyanyalade ngidavele ngene emibuzweni kodwa nje nyalo inkosi kafishane ngicela siqale ngendzaba yebufundisi inkosi ukuthi mbamba bafundisi bafanele yini ukungena endzabeni yepolitiki.
Mvuleni, that is a difficult question for me to answer. Because I speak under authority, you know. I'm a pastor, and we've had other pastors who were appointed into political office before. So how you answer this question, ufuna ubolo ipemvula kanjani lemboto. Uma sikhuluma ngasepulpit ngokuthi epulpit le politiki yakho wena ungipastor Sihle uyayikhuluma yini, you know, because as a pastor you must be a political person. Lokusho ukuthi ufune ube ungathathi masayidi. Mina nje branch yami I have got progressives, I have got the staunch conservative people. So it will be amiss for me ukuthi sengikhetha lesayidi kwangazuthi kusono kucabanga in a multi-party style or kusono kubadingundla like sekwendiwa nyalo, you know, kwangathi sekunebutha ekhathi, you know, sekude ne-tolerance istema aphi level istema ukuthi mhlawumbe sekukhona bethu thine bafundisi mhlawumbe lese singenele sathatha amaside kanti sinetimfu tethu yabona bazalwane ema views abo onke whether you are multi-party Mvuleni noma you are dingundla a system of governance onke lama views lawo at the end of it all ajajwa live la uNkulunkulu ajajwa expected behavior yakho as a child of God ukuthi wena ungumntwana kaNkulunkulu at the end of the day ufuna ubehave kanjani ukhuluma kanjani udiphatha kanjani. So my answer to that Mvuleni mina my advice would be that bafundisi mhlambe epulpit ipolitiki shouldn't be something lesi advanceako loku mhlambe lengisolako mina ukuthi mhlambe kusifakela phakathi thina bafundisi is the expectation of the people. You know, there has been an expectation let's lisovulitsini thuleleni phela thina asitshelwa live Mvuleni ukuthi sithini sithatha from God. Little Bible uma abhala ePaulose ubhalela libandla uthi ngethikhaste egcina kuyoba nebandla labahlukile labanye bayawufuna ukuthi luma indlebe tabo kusithisho. Unfortunately we are not going to say the things that they are itching. Lithi ke bayawuhamba bafune lawo bafundisi labatawukhuluma tinvo letiyawukitata tinhlitiyo tabo netindlebe tabo. You know, so but is it true ukuthi bafundisi abayikhuluma politics? Is not entirely true because we provide advice, we provide counsel. You understand? So that because kuphila mbamba kwepolitiki, but we then we have to provide a framework sibafundisi yokuthi nisaconducta lempilo yeni lepolitiki lempilo yeni iconducteni nibuke nanga emaqiniso elivla uNkulunkulu ukuthi uma umfana kaNkulunkulu uphila kanje uresponda etinveni nganayi indlela nayi. So ngingomthi Mvuleni ngibekise eBhayibhelini Mvuleni kwakuna Daniel eBhayibhelini Daniela. Many believers read the book of Daniel. It is one of the books that I read more than 5 times in a year, you know, because it looks relevant to my assignment at hand, you know, from where I work. Daniel, little Bible, was seva emakhosi lahlukahlukene Daniel. In one dispensation of the empire, Daniela wasebenda aphethe tinyanga Daniela lo Daniel school lo lesifunza ngayi prophet kutswana kuthi abantu bato profeta no bato bhula bebaqala Daniel athi cha sengayi enkosini bafana. Understand? He had a political office in the same dispensation. There was also the prophet Jeremiah. He was speaking at the same time. Akhona use naye Daniela uthi I have studied the books. Kuthi uprofet Jeremiah kuthi after iminyaka lendlula ngamashumi lasikhombisa uyawendeka nako, but you don't see the conflict yokuthi wena Daniela ngoba ulapha mina ngoba ngale ngikhuluma kuthini. So it's just an understanding and a balance Mvuleni ngokuthi letinvo leti singathandlisha kanjani, and how should we conduct ourselves as pastors in political issues.
Dlamini ngiyabonga Nkosi. Empeleni ubowulapha emavuso ngathi kalozitha na ingwe yami ikhuluma kuvulwa sibedlela iteka indzaba ukuthi bafundisi asemane bateke indzaba labaconzene nabo ngiko nje sebakwabawa ngamaplango. What's your take?
Mvuleni, I think it's just what I have been saying. Ngokuthi nasi bafundisi likholwa nje kunetinvo Mvuleni letibhekekile ukuthi uti conducta kanjani. Tingurumo takhe lithi iBhayibheli Mvuleni, let our speech be seasoned with salt. Let our speech be seasoned with salt. Liphinde lithi we must be an example of faith to who? To the unbelievers in our speech, in our conduct, and our behavior. You know, so asangube kusebenza apha ngalenye ilanga kunenkosi Davide. Inkosi Davide yaganga inkosi yabulala Uriya. Inkosi Davide yathatha umfati wakhe Uriya. uNkulunkulu wahamba ukukhuluma na Nathani umprofeti. Uma ukhuluma naNathani uyamtshela Nathani ukuthi kwendekeni esigodlweni. Uma fika Nathani esigodlweni uthi ke Nathani naka khulumako lapha kulendzaba uthi wena kunene bekunendvodza lapha lebenetimvu leti 100 lendvodza lena kwaba nendvodza lenemvu yinye yesuka lendvodza yahamba yayothatha lemvu yanangu lo nemvu leyodvana. Inkosi kwate iqalinwa kuthi mbani lona lo ngenivo lenjena live lakhile mbani Mvuleni mbani lo indvodza mprofeti athi Nathani wena yokunene ngiyasaba nekusho lokuthi nguwe. Understand? The wisdom behind issues of politics, issues of advice, how you bring across your advice, how you bring across your message. You know, most of the times Vilini siyaslahle opportunity yokukhuluma to a person on the manner of approach. Athi jumlo na ngikhulumile nje uyathi mos vele ngikhuluma naye. Understand? Guys, there is a manner of approaching issues kuze ma issues abe resolved Mvuleni. Mhlambe nje nakulinga leskiyo nyal even, maybe it's the manner of approach, how we have approached. We need to have indlela yoku-approach tindzaba. I think that is what my take would be Mvuleni ngokuthi of course sibalekele lokuphuma sithi ngqangqanana Mvuleni sithi ngqangqanana sathel sayeti kani sinemakholwa lahlukahlukene labandlene, not unless thina sifune makholwa amanye kanti ke i-tolerance ibesibayani ke lapho Mvuleni, because i-tolerance yekwakuthi sitane Mvuleni understandani ngobeketelele ama-views akho ngobeketelele ama-views. Lithi iBhayibheli siyawubonakala ngani thine nawe Mvuleni, siyawubonakala ngelithandvo ngokuthi thine sibanibana baNkulunkulu. Abese umpostoli Pawulos lapha ku 1 Corinthians 13 uyalichaza lo thandvo Mvuleni, uthi luthandvo lu-patient, luthandvo lumnene, kind. Luthandvo does not see itself over above others. Luthandvo is tolerant to other people. Luthandvo uyabhala ama attributes of love. Kuthi luthandvo lendani Mvuleni ngilo lelithando lengicabanga ukuthi lengoma nje longithinze ngayo Mvuleni nami songituma nje ke ikhuluma ngalo luthando ukuthi luthando li very important, and that is how we communicate. Actually before afike lapho uthi ungakwenda konke kodwa utawufana nesimbe encince thako khona beyihlatshelwa bapostoli lapha lengoma ubese uyaduka. Why? Because when you are lacking love is very critical for us. Basically sekugcineni love conquers all things. Why? There's love.
Ngiva kahle ngokuthi ngale indlela uthi wena iadvice yakho ngosuke ukuthi noma kudeka iphi indzaba ideka ngale nhlonipho lengiyo esikhathi esiningi itaza seyevakala. Ngicabanga ukuthi nangilalela kahle futhi ngiyama yakuthinza specifically lo nokuthi idialogue ayikavimbeleke angisathi ayibeka kanjani kepha umuntu nakeda kahle ngenhlonipho utawuvakala
in any given community. Kukhona ke Mvuleni lesigaba lokhanza ukuthi mhlawumbe ukhoya lo sekacabanga ukuthi wena usiye babe wakhe loyo umvulo bese uqhamuka nje sinoma ngoba wena awusiye uyise, you know, atocela nje icashule sinoma, you know, so akusiyo inqubo noma indlela lesikhuliseke ngayo thina la ekhaya. So it's very important nesekukholweni nje Mvuleni inhlonipho sihambise embili na Jesu usikhuthatha kuloko thina nakasithatha asibutha esonweni timvula tephundlawo la nibilweni tethu incumbi yato difaka kona lokuhlonipha naboma ke hloniphane emadvodza enu bobaba ethanzana bantwana hloniphani batali benu ngoba le ndvo lena iyimvo lelungile kuze amalanga akho ende njani Mvuleni anze emhlabeni yinhlonipho. So inhlonipho ngiyo mina nje emva mama besiveni Mvuleni ngingayicela inhlonipho Mvuleni. You know, I at times go into social media ngibuke Mvuleni hey le ndlela lokuthuwanwa ngayo le ndlela lokwehlantsha ladwa ngayo inhlonipho iyasilahlekela and asahloniphi nanathi Mvuleni. Ngike ngabona ivideo Mvuleni ku protestwa kuhlatshelwe ingoma yetinhlamba ngalanga kuyoka UN. I was so shocked. Ngamangala mina ukuthi silive we have disintegrated to such a state, you know. So I am just appealing mina Mvuleni to the nation ngama ukholwa especially to the Christian community ukuthi kwangathi besingabuyela kuma values ethu ukholwa ema values ethu enhlonipho ema values ethu la leswati kongaKristu, not divisive ideals or ideas which are dividing us ngokuthi wena so yini wena so wakuphi wena ukholwa ini wena, no, you know.
Ngeva inkosi asesingene lamhlanje mhlambe ngaphambi besingene kupolitiki asengiqale ngifaka politics vele inkosi ngicela ukuxolisa nje vele lamhlanje sihlelo lolu lukanjalo yebo sitelete ekukholwa laba but ufuna singene kahle ukuthi halams nje kancane mhlambe nje before ngene kupolitiki ngifuna kunenge lokukhulunywa ngawe inkosi tindzaba letiningi nje ku social media especially kuthi ungase unesandla emalini empela base specifically uyeba uba imali uthini lapho inkosi.
Hey really I think ngilama divisive ideas la khulunywa nabo social bullying, social media bullying laba khulunywa ngayo Mvuleni angebe angicale lapho nje Mvuleni angebe Mvuleni mina Mvuleni I'm from a business background, I'm from a family business. Talwa kwami nje besifunza nabo bayangathi esikolweni besithengisa ama sweets sithengisa ama banisi, we had money. We never had an opportunity yokuthi singathi sasistakhela sine imali Mvuleni. Ngiyaqeda isikole Mvuleni ngeuniversity, ngiyasuka euniversity ngiyaqhubeka kwavalisa university. Ngabatshela ngathi ngisayawakha imali. Ngabatshela futhi ngizathi bafunze kakhulu ngoba ngiyabaqasha. Bahleka Mvuleni. You understand? And I've had a number of them. You understand? In my various projects, you understand? Inzaba is Mvuleni, we're a hard-working family thing. kude kithi lohluphekako mfuleni bathi abanye ngibone bathi you are born with a silver spoon in your mouth mfuleni akusesona ukuputana ne silver spoon emlonyeni wakho whatever they call what the silver spoon is according to them. But if you are a parent, you are hardworking, you are working so that you can have a better future for your children. You take your children to better schools. Labana bakhuma nje yena futhi bantu ababo bakuma-private schools sizasa ama-private schools thina safuze Nazarene primary. You understand? Sidla sidonono. You understand? Saphuma esidononweni saya e-school sibanga singwa lapha sithablethe indishi ukhona kwasithumela lesithombe hey bantu baganga basifaka kule social media lapha kubangwa singwa ngebreak nga10 kuyathabuka indishi lapha sifuna sikose peanut butter mfuleni jam precious siwuthola esikolweni ekhaya uthola ngeration. You understand? You know, so it's not true, Mvuleni. We are hardworking people and many other business people out there. Signalo moya Mvuleni. We go to you want to sebenza uyeba. Kune stigma nje. Ngiyatibuta, I was talking to some of the comrades. Ngithi makhom, aningitshele. Ngibaphi labantu labathafula lo mnotho wena. Sesike lama ideals eno. Eventually come in. You can't lead a country without business people. Lapha kwenyanyengiswa bosoma business, kwenyanyengiswa kwangathi so no bane business. Kuba successful in this country has become a sin. Yebeni siyathi sebendela, we are hardworking. I was heartbroken, Vulin. I saw your interview with Minister Paikesh. I actually wept. Ngiva buhlungu ngibona an appeal, you understand, from his sweat and blood. Understand? Yemaswati amad by cash. Campaign anema business akhe. So uyebenini le mali wamabuza. Kuthi sewutawushisa uyebenini le mali bamkhanzana itolo takhe. Over 10 shops of his were burnt. It's so painful. And many other my banker Mvuleni. My banker uyasipita uyaviolisa libhange bathi awucha so uyahamba sisibani. We are retired. Abasitshela ukuthi uyapi. So ngambuta ngithi how usiphethe kahle wena uthi ngoqala business. She called me in tears. They looted her shop. Uthi ngithethe imali yami yonke ngiyisebenza all these years ngathatha ne loan eStandard Bank. Ngentela ukuthi ngene they looted my things. Ngithi mina Mvuleni Maswati lawa azama kwenda a living. May we honor business people, especially makholwa. You know, you can't be successful in your life if you hate people who are rich. You will never be successful. You will never be successful. You must have a better relationship and a better focus on yourself regarding issues of money. The reason ubane mona, ubane selfishness, yakukhuluma with unfounded. People know me then I've been working. Angeta ngosini ngaqala ukuthi ngoba sengisengosini ngiqala imali. Ngitela I'm well off. I had my properties, I had my businesses were running. They are still running today. They are growing even today. Even tomorrow, I'm spending. I have business. I even more. You understand? I'm paying no more than Vulin or would see. But when my institutions that pay abantu even. I can pay my institutions. But would say, oh, see that mean we've been a malinai. We comply with all regulatory formations in our businesses. Why? Because we are responsible citizens. My vision, Vulin, my vision, man, one day, is that I want to be a blessing to this nation. I want to do things that are extraordinary in this nation. But I'm not moved in Vulin. The things I said, I will do them. Why? Because in what you come billionaires lavender. Understand? They've been giving into the country. That is what successful people must do in a nation. They must develop a nation, must build universities, must build hospitals. Successful people. Not in a boogie, as success ya Vulin, success ya Lomu suma business. A pumelele a develop a akele live. Little pipe lamb in Vulin. You will not borrow from them, but you will lend to them. That is the highest degree where God expects us as children of God. Because at the end of the day, you must be lenders. You must give. You understand? So until we attain to that level in your faith walk, then you have not really attained to it. So it's very important ukuthi asiukweshiseni mfuleni lo moya we-stigmatize abantu nekubanyanyekisa abantu labaphumelelayo even banengi bosomabhizinisi sebayesaba nanyalo lapha amabhizinisi abo lapha bayesaba lo mnyaka sathi ukuthi should I go out ngishiye la eSwatini ngiyo-investor elsewhere because nangilakhaya la kongazuthi yonke info yakho even lokuba relationship nje kuthi hey Mamba so related nabo sihle ngolile lona sokunetiwe bakulebelisha. It is not okay. I want to appeal to the Christian fraternity ikakhulu emakholwa asika sikuthathane sifake umoya lomuhle siyekele simakholwa nathi kungenela tinkulumo etingakasi tinkulumo letingasi founded lot lana emafacts abo ongumzalwane. Mina I'm appealing to the nation at large ngemoya wa Kristu Jesu le wangikhipha mina etoneni wangisinzisa. I was a very young boy when I got saved in Vulin, and I've served the Lord faithfully up until today. I ask believers, I ask churches, I ask leaders, let us admonish our flock, admonish the Church of Christ to support people and love people, not hate. Hate is not from God, it's from the enemy.
Ngiyabonga Nkosi. Asengibuye lapha nje Nkosi wena umuntu lo so ube khona emakhosini. Now ubuka live liyafuna kuva a discerning view. Sengisho nje ukuthi abantu bavumele kanti abantu bakhulume lokunye other than mhlambe tinkundla.
Now show live
like sengisho eMaswati nje especially bantu abasemagunyeni njengawe Nkosi.
Oh Mvulini. Mvulini discerning voices, deviant voices have always been allowed in this country. It has been an ongoing thing. I namuhla, you know, mina Mvulini ngifunze nebantu labatalwa ma founding members alama organizations le mhlawumbe namhla are proscribed or what, you know, political formations. You know, we went to school with them. As I talk to you today, they're employed in government. Banvana bema labande sitsi ma progressives or whatever, you know, it's not labelisha kanjalo, you know, but they don't. I know them. We greet each other. We snap university. Come. Bekute le animosity. Let's say akiwa namuhla. You know, and ngafika mne engosini ngakhanza bo mfana ngosi obedi, he's passed on now ngosi yami, God bless his family, you know. They were progressive, these people in NLC ipatiak, understand? Sibakhanzile tsinela ngosini sabakhanza boba beheshane ma progressive meaning swendile personally engosini baba mkhombe progressive, and he was speaking, everyone knew he's a progressive. You understand? Besona nabe engosini baba mkhombe, and engosi nayo yathi ukuthi mkhombe ngizama kuchaza nivile ngokuthi lokuthi ngathi ema views lanjani ingosi at one time I remember ngisathi ngumuphi lo CRC or Vusela exercise yazi ingosi yabafaka emabandleni ukuthi hey ngenani konke lokho yindlela yekuba inclusive live and Vulin. But I'm not speaking in a position ya whole man. I want to be clear here. Ngoba ungibite wathi ungibita as umfundisi. But ngiyazama nje ku outline Vulin ngokuthi in some of the things that khulunywa ngola let's funa ku divide and everything, you know saying ukhona ungva ngikhuluma ngambandlana, but that is my friend. He is my friend. Sikhule naye thina embandlana nangithibana edrobheni hayi come sikhule nabo, understand? Kude le animosity leseyakhiwa namuhla iyafabricatewa masinganake imvuleni sitawuya eRwanda. If bafundisi bangayikhuthi le emakholweni ngoba nemakholwa sekuyayinyonywana kuyazondwana eRwanda yale ive khona bayifuni, because kwakungamakholwa laletha le divisiveness nale hate bayiperpetuate kuthi ya vele umakholwa apost imvu umzalwane ya lona uhlala kuphi lona msukeleni
umzalwane akuposte ngesibinzi lo mzalwane envoleni uyatibuta ukuthi umoya waKristu lapho umoya welithando umoya wokuxolela angathi uthi ukwendene nomvuloyo but uthi Jesu kithi mntuleni asixolelana nene emaphutheni ethu asithi mntuleni uhulumende ude emaphutha asithi mntuleni nalalabanye lababhizi bendala letinvoleti ma toll gates bede emaphutha maphutha lamakhulu nalawo understand mina nginababantali bami my aunt who was humiliated by my toll gates. And namuhla I ask myself, who is responsible? Are the people today, can they really stand out and say they are responsible for the abuse? Leyentikwe kumakwethu abotsatewethu kakhulu la kulethi involved nizama ukuthi involeni loku accuser nekuzama kugxeka labantu yabona will not really entirely help us. Lekubalekile ukuxolelana ne-tolerance. Let us continue seeing the community besingiyitolo yeku acceptana yeku tolerateana kokuthi you hold these views, I hold this. I told you in my church I have the progressives, I have the Dunguntas in my church. I have them and I know their views, I appreciate their views, I counsel them on their views. You understand? And it is not for me to say Shia when I live you akole ubuye live you le. These things tiyakhana nvoleni kunetinvo lemhlawumbe mina mangabe ngiconservative ngibuka lo progressive atanginika indlela ukuthi khona lengakufunza kuwe naye lo yakhala ngakufunza kimi tiyethetana letivo letimbili nvoleni. So mina I'm advocating nvoleni ikakhulu emakholweni, you know, emakhola have got a very big role to play yeku advance tolerance even in political views. Angasho what labantu ngutshila ngabo mina laba bantwana balaba ma politics laba, they're in government positions. And do you think government doesn't know them? Government knows them, understand? But the king does not hold the view ukuthi wena uyini we had incomplete story for them. April 11 April 11 Volin, I remember April 11 we were all afraid kwakuna spring revolution or spring uprising Volini announced another event ukuthi na April 11 hey sesaba babhala ukuthi batawentani. I remember the various councils came yabona befika lapho enkosini kuto outline a plan yokuthi ba advise ukuthi when how should this thing be quashed. You understand? I remember Mvuleni Emavengos. I respect Baba Makakula, former commissioner. I respect that man. He took heed what the king said. That's ngosi kupete na munye bonke labantu laba banengosi yabo. And you remember, if you can check your videos or your news, how many cops were injured in restraint. Because Ingosi Yati, he wants to hear nothing. Because Sive Sengos, we progressive, songe si bengosi yonale. You know, so and he has also said that outrightly. Sorry, we need dialogue. There is room for dialogue. There's spoken about smart partnership. So it's not a view. Or what have you. So I am just advocating. My plea in is that as tolerate an sing in understand? Let's not call other names because of those particular views. SRC, no executive university. No SRC. You know, I held my views, I put my views on the table. The others also put their views on the table, you know. I remember one instant, a situation in high school, because politics I call. Ngikumbula lama student teachers wanted to strike because bangafuni boarding master. Boarding master was applying the same rule. Basa school never says student teachers bonge funa babe within ma dorm 5:30. Nalabo labadala bafuna. So baba disgruntled ke basibafuna nathi sijoin le action yabo kuze itoba nesimvo. And some felt to join. And I differed, and I rose up to the occasion to address my students. But then, labantu labadala vele, asinathi ngenza abantu abadala. Vele bantu labadala mhlambe ngeke baphathe ngemithetho yethu sibantwana. Kodwa le mithetho yethu sibantwana iyasilungela high school. Ukuthi thine la high school funa abasifa bashaya sila. But bona abathi ngeke sikhulume abo tindzaba. You understand? Beva abantwana bangeni hanye emva labo khona lo bekalida ngale bambita ngabhuti mzundane wangangithandi, but egcineni wakubuya sahlala phansi bathi I know I respect young men, you know, I respect you ngathi ngiyabonga thi babita ngabothi ngizama ukuthi nivuleni. Let's have tolerance for one another, let us respect for one another. That is what is, I think, is very key and important. Sibonge sibe nkosi kude wasathane la
edlamle kunene unrest lelapha eveni iqale mostly in parliament. Ngifuna loku si wena nawubuka emeni sike saba na MP babe Magawugawu lapha ngambuta a number of questions mhlambe wayibukela ngisho noma uyibukela ngabuta mina okay mbamba kude enye indlela beyingahamba ngayo mhlambe through the structures. Angathi wena what will your take from the church's perspective?
Mvuleni ngike ngakhuluma on my Facebook page ngichaza nayindzaba yokuthi sithanze lokuthi this inthando yaNkulunkulu lena inthando yaNkulunkulu ngichaza those issues ukuthi yini inthando yaNkulunkulu ihlukene kanganani inthando yaNkulunkulu. You understand? Ngase ngithi emakholweni ngicanga ukuthi lokubalekile at this dispensation is to look into the ways of God. Kuthi uNkulunkulu usebenza kanjani? How does God expect us to conduct our business? How does God expect you to conduct your workplace? How does God expect you to lead your life as an employee? How does God expect you to lead your life as an employer, as a boss? You understand? As a leader of a nation. You understand? Kunema expectations order yaNkulunkulu. Little Bible, Nkulunkulu is a God of what? Of order. So, as Christians, we must then be seen to be adhering to order. Let us encourage respect in for order. Yabona nje ngokucela konfuleni ngevele ndzaba yeparlament lo itekako sineke ngalokuthi silesebenza nabo constitution lesibabuka mfuleni, you know, ukuthi I constitution itsini regarding such matters, you know. Le things about the parliament mfuleni, if you want to hear a voice from me as a pastor kunetinhlelo letibekwe phasi ukuthi uma ufuna kushintsha kunema clauses ku constitution lethiwa lawa are entrenched and non-entrenched clauses kubhaliwe la constitution kuthi nangabe uyawufuna kutsinza nama issues nanga la entrenched uyawenda kanje ema non-entrenched issues uyawatreata kanje. Kula constitution yet silive the constitution. Me as a believer sitting where I'm sitting now, I do not believe we have satisfied the requirements of the constitution. Ukuthi ngabe phela emalunga lamathathu la susalenza beparlament alingiselela ngamalunga eparlament la kwende evikini liphelile. Lamalunga uma speaker ajena indlu but disgruntled akazange aphumula ngaphandle ayotshela umhlaba ya xoshani speaker bayathi speaker akaxoshwa kanjalo speaker ayathi lamalunga. They never went outside. What did they do? They called in for a caucus
and lobbied 18 members of parliament. But we want to remove the speaker because the speaker does not represent what? Our interest. Yindlela tindzaba eParliament lamalunga lawo lamathathu abemele Mvuleni nawo alobhishe lamanye uformation ang 2/3 ebenvuleni isikhuluma indzaba uyathi kunetimvulo bese uthi nawe ngosiyami uyathi bekufanele kodwa both abantu sebendani Mvuleni bafikile ku 2/3 majority but funa ukuthi khulumisa indzaba eParliament wabalela what so yini ke bangayenda say the thing was out of control but these members did not want to do those things Mvuleni and again Mvuleni thina labanye siyahlupa lokufunza sibuke netimvo nema behaviors lendiwako and siyathi ukuthi nga 2019 Mvuleni kwaba nelive lasivala la kangwane lathi ngisanifuni Devin lam ngoba nebudlelwane nelive lelitside understand siyathi futhi Mvuleni kuthi lelive lelo la invite ma members of parliament understand lelive lasho lelive lathi baseSwatini litabasebenta beSwatini and vele nemali lelive Mvuleni thina siyini Mvuleni kwethu nya lokuthandaza look unfortunate Mvuleni ukuthi lamaqiniso lawa nawakhulumako okuthi ehlake sihle nglothi uyadla kule system sihle cha lama concerns Mvuleni laba raise akho are they not genuine concerns? Are they not concerns, genuine concerns? They are genuine concerns, but these genuine concerns must be tested against the requirements of the constitution. You understand? Ukuthi i-constitution now tanala genuine concerns akho. You understand? Kube netehlakalo Mvuleni. Angifuni ukuvakala Mvuleni kwangazuthi mhlawumbe ngidefenda uhulumende yini. Kube netehlakalo lapha Mvuleni. Kwashona umnakethu Thabani. The family is at pain, I'm at pain. Thabani died under questionable circumstances Mvuleni. We all agree to that. Akali kuthi kushona umuntu under questionable circumstances in this country. But kunendlela laveni yekuthi uma ngabe umuntu ashone under questionable circumstances kwendekani. You understand? So kubese kubanani kuba ne inquest. Le phumako inquest yendeni le inquest ifune ukuthi kwendekeni and ama inquest are international documents and labantu laba benda le document leyo bayintela ukuthi Mvuleni ibe fair to all parties. Wendiwa nako lokho Mvuleni ngizama ukuchaza nje Mvuleni ngokuthi sometimes we must try and open up to see ukuthi kuba khona abantu abasifuna kayijeka timvo and but use up for their own agendas. Nanga kubuta nje mina Mvuleni nini ma journalist nini sibone thombe thina la bantu bathika timtshwala etimotweni letinye declaration ma organizations lengengiwasho la registered in the country banika naba ba protestako bafikela meke Mvuleni now lama genuine concerns esive are being usurped by people with selfish ambitions abo ukuthi nje bona bathunya ngina live lathi lasilaya thina bafuna size siyeke nale live naliya ngoba thine you understand batasebenda will bear the consequences, their exact words. You understand? So ngithi kamina Mvuleni in all these things baba wami lo sothi buta nje mina kunendlela yokuthi resolve and kunane idea ke Mvuleni asengobe the times bana bamnyama bacinzetela America angisho ukuthi abaqinzetele kenyalo bangangithathi kabe bani bese bathi ngithethene bathi ngikhuluma ngesikhathi mina kusastruggle America kwaba nemoli Dr. Martin Luther kwaba na Malcolm X. Martin Luther was a born-again child of God. I cannot say that about Malcolm X. He had a belief of non-violence. He had a belief ukuthi tonke letimvo letifisa batifunako batawutenda ngithula ngisho labelungu bebeta ngeviolence kanganani. But Martin Luther would hold and they were in the forefront maintaining the peace and ensuring babekude labende lokuphambene babonakale futhi ukuthi baba discipline labantu ukuthi you don't do this in our protest actions wena mfowena uyasonela usonela envo yeflesendako awuwede ema toll gate wena nangabe center level uyabona labantu bentani behlangani ngekuthula mfuleni you see. So Malcolm X on the other side, he believed in violence. He believed he had to fight. He believed he had to also kill the white men. But you're not saying my Christian beliefs akamvumeli. Yingakho ke ngithi kemina emfuleni. Konke leti indlela leti take resolve. Ema protest actions endiwa ngikuthula ayaphumelela. Le live lenfuleni. Labaye bathi bam. Those are the ideals and ideologies. Balwa. We say engabo bathini sa engage in peaceful engagement to get independence. Ngizama ukuthi nivuleni. Ngizama ukuthi tikhona tindlela nivuleni. Letinekuthula, letingeke tilise, letawenda wonke umuntu ativele ukuthi uparticipatory in the whole process. Especially malunga neparliament. Malunga parliament. Ukuthi 2/3 baba bamtsinga. Njenganyalo bafuna ukusa speaker. They are lobbying each other. We are lobbyisha iparliament. Kulobbyisha akusilo licala. Uma ngabe ma views akho akhahleliwe namhla uyaphuma uye ngaphandle kumalunga lamanye walobbyisha emalunga kunena indzaba naye. Kuloko nje mfuni lo ngoshoko babe wami.
Lamna kunene ngenxa yesikhathi ngicela nje Nkosi ukuthi mhlambe esasitafaka tincingo kodwa nakhona sitangena nje nge-SMS ngoba ngiyabona amaswati aphungela lapha ngibuka eFacebook nami bangidokanyana lapha bangifemba sterek hayi bangithela sterek lapha mina ke nami kuthiwa ngakubuta njani wena kuba nami ngebe imali yakshira phela ngibona la
bosidlali bahlangene lamuhla
ukhona mina ukuthi
came week. So mina lengi strong angingabe sengithi ngoba lona udla inyama lengwe lemademonini usoni naloya lobuthakathaka ngangikhanza ngidla lenyama angabe athi mina njani mina ngisona uthi asibe nale tolerance. Ngizama ukuthi nje ke kunetinvo mvulini nebabukeli lesinga ukuthi sithi khuthalele sithi support mvulini. Mine by God's grace, I've seen quite a number of countries. Bangane baholi mfulini laba advocate la Kristu. Singema Kristu kangwane. Asilithathe lelithuba lekujabulela lokho. Mina kunetimbawu ngitibone mfulini ngokuthi kule dispensation lesikiyo tinako kungamthumesi Kristu kulendlela lesifuna kwenda ngayo tinfo. So it is very important ukuthi sikhuthatana yenene ukuthi simakholwa basim embrace Kristu si support la kufanele khona. But akusho ukuthi we should not voice up our voices when kune pain lenginayo kunebuhlungu lenginayo khwala ngiyatheleka khona ngingasho. Lithi iBhayibheli siyawukhutana ngendlela etsidi. Ngako Jesu athi uma ngabe akushaya kulesi sihlathu umuntu turn the other cheek. Why? That is the gospel of faith. That is why I would like maybe to just emphasize those issues mean to the nation including on la meet the people ukuthi ngiyacela ngethulwa konke
lapha bese ngiyibonile lapha emaswati ashaya kulolicingo lapha kufanele sikhona thumele wona ama messages. Ngiyabona ama messages avela la na ku Facebook siyabona ama messages nebenkosi lenhle hayi lamanye akhona vela konzele nami nje ngqo bathi lona ngumhlangano bomangololo bathi wena cha ngumangololo ngoba sakubona wasasal side nakunamagawugawu la uyabona but leyo ngayichaza empeleni nakubo nje sabe sasasikhathi sina justice khona lapha phela thine we become what we call the devil's advocate. Thine asithathe side as journalists funa sibe lamkhathini bese siyabafaka lana nanyalo mangolo next week
le live ngathi bathi wena waya kule live le chubeka
ubheka bathi ngeke ubheke Nkosi
chubeka
bathi ngeke
chubeka ba
wona ngilabala kule live Nkosi uyathi Nkosi sami laba baphiwa yini imali
awungeke bahlale mfundini bathi
angayifuna ke le mali Nkosi yami nabathi bangishiyela
bayikhuluma yabalwisa labanye sabo bayabacabana bathi bangwa le mali
kude mali
nembuto yebantu mfundini badaze bathi sibavalele ngaphandle babukele
okay lapha bathi bengenigathe sinilile kakhulu sihle ukubita ngemfundisi noshumayela indzaba teluthando lo myelo uthi akulilwe angathi uthi kulilwe ngani impela nakabe specific la
ngiyabona ukhuluma mfundini ukuthi sililele abalahlekelwa impahla yabo during le ma riot actions kukhona labalahlekelwa impahla yabo bashiselwa imoto labanye baluthelwa titolo siphinde sililele also families who lost their loved ones as well. I think bateka leyo mvulini bonke labantu laba baba affected mvulini and we pray God's peace upon the remaining people, you know. We do pray God's peace. You know, I had an opportunity to counsel one guy in Vulini who was involved in Nagu Shiswa Lapa Ewalusen. Actually, the mother asked me, the mother is a member in our church, Abesebenda Lapa Estolo, okay, with the daughter. So after Ashiselo Chaha was so bona manje bahlete ekhaya lo makwakhe nathatho wakhe bahlete. He became suicidal. I think bese kubuya nje le picture ukuthi what did I engage in? So the mother then asked ukuthi asomkhulumise lo cha. And singambuda mina benendani ukuthi basinathisa mani and futhi basitshela thina ukuthi emasotsha ulmende ude imali letinhlavu letisebenta kona athi nginathi ngigwatsha ngathi emasotsha uyatibona inhlavu leto atina lutho so singawesabe emasotsha hambe siyothatha lena ngithi hayibo uthi yes that's what they do. So you know ngithe kuwe baba wami angifuni ukukhuluma in future we have a live discussion and debate issues in an environment where people will be enlightened to the fact, enlightened to the truths, but what are we up against here, you know. Nalabantu bayusapha lelithuba lokuthi thinking at Yemaswati titatululeke ngiyacela mina badesist from the agenda yabo yanaliya live lelifuna ukuthi thine sihlupheke.
Babhala ke lapha Nkosi banyandi kakhulu la
Mshana
ubuka sokungena licingo Nkosi yami basi yathi beka ngwane ngiyacela Nkosi yami angikhona ukuwafunda ama messages la
mkhathe lo ready wekhatha.
Oh na baba ngiyabonga Nkosi buka ke solo lapha mina ngikhuluma
all school practice sayini
usicelele lapha uthi ke usicele siyakuphathisa emakhosini umthandazo wokubonga live seliphilisiwe uNkulunkulu mana kathisho ngicela bodisho singibobani uyakuphathisa lona Nkosi emakhosini live seliphiliswe uNkulunkulu.
Amen.
Nkosi
thina ngakholwa vele we always declare things that be not as if they are.
Yendulini wendelana ukusincisha isikhathi lamhla
Uhle useluya lesikhathi lokusekunami nje so asafuna ufuza lethi ngiyatala abazalwane
indzaba ikhefu Inkosi ngisaba yona ngisaba ikhefu isikhathi esiningi ukhona lona lomunye evele lapha kule nkinga kakhulu okay lona sesifunze indaba yakhe yekulila inkinga lapha Nkosi solo ngijuba abantu abashayako la longathi mhlambe abantu batawukhala ngathi mhlambe nginenkinga yini okay uthini ngethi inkundla okay lapha ke uthi ke lona hallo Ndvulini sihle ukukhuluma nge-respect but ibhekele from esiveni uthi ema-progressives nabetinkundla Inkosi iyakwemukela konke manje itaba khona nini i-dialogue?
Ndvulini logo is not within my armpit to be honest to answer. As I said, I'm not speaking for government here, but lenguvile mine Inkosi ikhuluma esibayeni yaphinze reiterate quite recently ukuthi ukhona umnyaka we dialogue ngicanga ukuthi uhulumende lo ngayiphendula kahle indzaba ukuthi I dialogue itawuba nini but we are a dialoguing nation ever since we have been in dialogue mhlawumbe lokuye nje mina ngusola konfuleni ngathi solela nje mina lokuthi kube nama upheavals akendi kube ne state lesivumela ukuthi kukhona ukukhulumiseka ngiyibone kulabo emave bayibathi nakuthiwa kube ukuthi calpass kuya kuthiwa yini silence truth yini lokuthi bathi ya kuba nemalanga nje sembeke kutongena kudla kusite abantu
ceasefire
something like that you know ngicabanga ukuthi kune ma goal what leaf defune swafleke ukuthi you know this is what we actually want you know maybe I'm just throwing out an idea ukuthi there's some of the things that maybe could help us ukuthi kubonakala ukuthi hayi cha lesimo siyasivumela singahlala nyana kunombe to covid pass itolo nje mbone bekuna 4 abantu bengitshela abanye ukuthi hayi nyana covid ing 4 kuphela 11 you know aba vaccinate futhi bantu bangesabe vaccinate stokuyele ama mask njengase Europe
Pastor Sihle I love you Nkosi ngekuthoba ngicela uphume kule ndzaba leti ngiyabona ngilo sesodweni lakho thaka kufunde nje kule ndzaba leti
awu epulpit vele ngeke ekhulume ngivuleni but ke epulpit ngeke ikhulume but it's very important for me ukuthi ngithi ngongithemene ngicela ukuthi ama views ethu asiwakhulumeni ngerespect siwakhulumeni ngolithando so that live litowakheka ngivuleni inkinga nyalo kuthi lokukhuluma indvo lefunele ikhutsate mina uthi ukhuluma befune iconsi buka kule libandla leli lelithanza le violence kwaqhamuka lo muntu awukhutha uthi hayi phela lona akasi accountable lona kanjani bamqosha hamba yabona waqhamuka lo munye bamqosha akusiyo indlela leyo and I said they must show us leadership ukuthi in leadership you are transparent indeed. You are also accommodative to the ideals of other people. Ne questioning and scrutiny of other people. You know, my egos. Skone ukuthi sidile nawo. You know, and the foot. Look at ukuthi from the very same people who then present the tone. Le maybe on the other side if amabese iveta lesimo songazuthi lo hluka ukibo abamfuni yabona uke bangitshathi hey mina bengine group naye bang eject yabona sebanekile ba eject because awufuneki nato okhuluma utawula kanjani ke live and fuleni nangabe ngeke uwatolerate ama views alabanye abantu we need to tolerate one another. You know, your views are important, my views are important. You know, uma sikhuluma ngama freedoms kanzini, freedom of speech saying that then. Bese SAKHILE yona freedom of speech. Nama nazo ukhuluma freedom of speech bakwetfuka. Mina page namduleni. You'll be shocked. Nana kulokunye lokwe lobakusendela message but lokwakas kwa Facebook agcwele lapho. And abanye bazalwane, you know, and lomi I'm a pastor myself, you know. But the tone is not a good tone. It's very important. How should we conduct ourselves as believers in this time? It's very important. Honorable
Honorable uthi ungafoma kude singavuya ukudiscover wala Nkosi bengibuka iFacebook la bese ngibuka lama SMS ngala uyathi ngala kuma SMS just because labantu ngamagama bombamba lawo bakhuluma kahle la kude nje ngithukako babuta imibuzo le kahle ngala lihlamba kuphela but lenkurealize ko lapha ukuthi lamagama akasiwo abombamba la bathi bitha amagama lehlukile webona njengale manje ke ngikho lokuhlupha ukuthi ngingafisa ukuthi mhlambe kube ne-dialogue lapha abantu sitaba khona live bahlale la sitokhuluma isense sonke uyayibona njengale sitokhuluma nama views ngekwehlukana sila sibonana ukuthi kuphuma kubani manje ku unfair this time because kusuka mhlambe naphocana kulelinye ihlangothi
Yeah.
uyakufemba emvakalo uyayibona njengale
Yeah.
yes but nje uyathi Nkosi
But kude Mvuleni njengomdzala kulethi inhlamba ukuthi uyakholwa ukuva kusilomuntu uthini lo muntu loyo. Ngiyakuva ukuthi ukhaliswa ukuthi lama fake accounts and mina ngangakuhlupha ke Mvuleni ngakuchecka lo kuma fake accounts. Incumbela ama accounts lawa lagcwele lapha akhiwe nga 2020 and 2021. You see, and now to ya check at IT inclined. Uyabona ukuthi akhiwe from one source. Ukhanze hlamani 100 akhiwe umvumunye ini so that kunama numbers songs amakusho lenzaba yakho ukuthi le dialogue itawusitha. Le dialogue ngeke isithe kuphela Mvuleni la babhala inhlamba. Kunemaswati Mvuleni lesabako namhla kukhuluma. Understand? Who are in hiding njengaGideon eBhayibhelini. Bobo Gideon bekabhaqile ngenxa lesimo lebesendeka la evenda kaJuda babhaqa kunebazalwane nemakholwa even people you know lesibese ngazuthi ingako kulamanye emave ubese uva athi omunye abite lakhe licembu ya no nani phumani seniphuma etaladini into obonakala ukuthi kanjani you know akusiyo indlela yekwakha live leyo Mvuleni but ke it's important ukuthi kule dialogue nje atawuphumele balile Maswati aqine nawo you know because wongumzwe esaba ukuthi he ndawuthi batangishisa ndawuthi ngithi batawubhala ukuthi uhlala phi lo msukeleni understand it is not inangle philisako leyo Mvuleni indlela yokuphila leyo yokuphiliswa ngokutretenishwa kunema sekabukathi ma terrorists labantu abenda Mvuleni understand ububhala ukuthi wona msukeleni wolona nakama business akhe wasukeleni akusiko Mvuleni lokho akusiko baba wami manje ngicela ukuthi asikhulumeni ngenhlonipho Mvuleni
siyabonga kakhulu Nkosi ngicabanga ukuthi ngidalibeka la hlelo ngoba
nemhlonishwa mhlambe siyodibana naye nganye la
ukhona bekasho into njalo nalapha nami ngingafisa Nkosi empeleni ngiyacabanga vele ngidayicela le dialogue le kanjalo lokuthi ngeke ngibekele umnyaka lapha ngibekele umnyaka lapha bese ngiyalalela bekunene gcina ngakhona kutawakheka ngoba ubute Nkosi lapha ukuthi ukhona le ngikutholako
yes
out of lama messages lala uyabona atahlaba nje mhlamba phela yes kude ngoba lapha asakheki uyabona akuvakana ukuthi baba uthini iview yakhe ithini kusombulula lesimo lesikuso uyabona njengale nawe sikufuna ukuthini noma ayichaze le problem yakhe thina ke bese siyazama kubuka sokugcina sibuka into ikanje manje la abakhona bakhuluma nje into letibheke eceleni uyabona njengale party ngalabo bakhuluma kahle inkinga lenginayo ngala ukuthi ngithi ngiyayifunza ngena licingo ngiyayifunza ngena licingo so ngiyo lama problems enginawo kepha nje bekunene njengoba esilo sesishito lapha ukuthi i-dialogue ayibe nenhlonipho njengoba sengidawuphiza nje ngiyabafuna ngeke ngakhuluma nabo mangololo namuhla ukuthi ngicela babe khona bengisafuna ke lapha benhlangano lenye now ngisafuna ukuthathisa futhi kulabe mthetho Nkosi ukuthi uma i-organization are prescribed in the country are they allowed to talk their views on TV lapha ngomthetho lesikhuluma ngawo so ngifuna ukuthandwa njengale noma mhlambe nakangena lapha lo muntu angadisho ubuya kuphi
Mvuleni one of the issues le ya laba bese bathi naba labaphuma kule CRC sakufuze ephepheni ke umaqiniso lephepha ngakuwade Mvuleni ngoba siwabonile emangala amaningi emaswati atifunzele indzaba lebalekile Mvuleni azisitifundiseni kudisena emanga nemaqiniso inkinga lo moya manga semningi kakhulu lapha even you know so ukhanza ukuthi awusakhona ukuthi ubuke ukuthi lokhu ngemanga lokuliqiniso kodwa bengithini Mvuleni senze ngibalekisa ngamanga kwaje
ngete ngathi Nkosi ukuthi uqhamuka nayo kodwa esigabeni sami bengichaza nje ukuthi nginana inkinga ukuthi angathi kahle hle
oh yes bengizama ukuphemvela indzaba leyo ukuthi lala baphuma Mvuleni kule abathi bona hayi bebafisa inkosi ibasho ukuthi babuyaphi
from which organization
lonke liswati Mvuleni linema political views alo
yes
liswati lelo you know you understand liswati lo mvuloyo abuye atokhuluma kuleyo panel leyo kube ne discussion you know ngicanga ukuthi mina those views You understand? A debate in a healthy atmosphere. Kukhulunyiswane ngenhlonipho. Ayisho le view yakhe lo munye. Ayisho I view yakhe lo munye. Ngicanga ukuthi mina endvuleni wonke unema views akhe, you know, but it's not to say we are propagating those prescribed. So the people that come, nami endvuleni, my views are mean.
Yeah, of course.
But angawasha my views you understand? I have not stated my views. Gokuthi ngilibubambe bathi lona dingundla lona uyini lokusho bando, but everyone deep inside unetimvo ngike ngaveta nje nje ngithi kuthi abantu bena ngazuthi tinhlupheko noma tinhlungu dilimata wena wetfana wena lo myade kulimata, you understand? Kan dislimata sonke ngongithi mina lama concerns esive a genuine vulini ayatsinga kunikwa I-platform yokuthi a discuss because that genuine akanga hijack kwabantu labane agenda yabo ukuthi bafuna bona kushintshe umbuso ubuyele lenye live ukweshe lenye live, you understand? Because kuthi agenda le khona lesidlula leyo nyalo yokuthi bafuna lokho kanti ebekufuna izinto abathi khuluniseke Yulin 95 94 95 okhona Yulin ma 27 demands, understand?
Yeah, of course.
They were there protesters peacefully bazama most of those issues today as we live are as a result of their leadership ababesithole yama 27 demands lebe bawafuna. Yani seva ukuthi bese kwaba khona ke nalesibafuna le agenda lengetulo but kwekhuthwana khona lapho kwathi nini niphele kohlangana lena sport siyekeleni, understand? Thina sifuna nabo kwaba nebanda abasitonga bakhona kwekhutha. Today 27 demands were answered. We are living in, we are benefiting, all of us are benefiting in those demands. Sesine Mayday namuhla kwakulawo my demands la sawukhumbula thina, you understand? So ngizama ukuthi nivuleni ema concerns esive are very important to be heard, are very important ukuthi endiwe, but ke ngiyacela mina ukuthi ayihlonishwe in process kakhulu, understand? Timba tendiwe in process nivuleni ukuthi bana wa legitimize uveleleke ukuthi athi kufanele manje ngosomeone ulini as enako abesawuthini, you know.
Cha ngiyabonga kakhulu Nkosi, ngicela bangwane ngiyabona seba ama viewers ami lama yasangikhethe isikhathi kepha ngicela Nkosi sale uthatha lithuba lekuvalelisa Nkosi.
Lolini unginike lithuba station saka Channel S ngikhone nami kuto uvete ma views nalokuthi nje ubone ukuthi mhlawumbe kukhona yini lengingakwenda olengakujika esivivaneni in my office as a man of God, you know, ukuthi kukhona yini lengakusho esiveni. Ngiyacela nje ukuthi nangabe kukhona mhlawumbe lova ngazuthi ngimphoqile or mhlawumbe ngemnyathele in any way. It was not my intention, as I have said, that everything we do out of love. Love is the basis of everything that I do in my life. I advance love and I love you all with all your views. Nalaba labangithumelela tinhlamba nivuleni awumangali ngabathanzi angibaphendvule baphendvula kabi. I don't, because I love them. I know the love of God. What will it help me to love those that love me? Only. It has got no crown, it has got no benefit. So for me, I advocate for love. May God bless you. May God keep you in all your ways. May the Lord prosper you. May the Lord increase you in all your ways. In whatever you are doing, may the blessing of the Lord that maketh rich, the blessing of the Lord that addeth no sorrow, be upon your life, be upon your family, be upon even those that are hurting at this time. May the grace of Jehovah God heal, the peace of God that surpasses all understanding. May it rule your heart, rule your mind, and bring a peace that surpasses all understanding.
understanding that through all these things, you may stand, child of God. You may be strong, child of God. You may advocate for the word of God. May God bless you. Thank you so much for giving me an ear, Mamba, for allowing me to come here and have this audience.
Solo siqale sikhuluma nawe kodwa imibuzo langabe mnanzi kodwa solo uyasmile solo uyasmile and futhi sokuchaza walikhipha nakamnanzi mhlambe kuwe mbukelo sanza ngena lapha umlanga imchaza indaba eningi kakhulu indaba ethi bafundisi esikhathi esiningi yena uvamise ukuthi anakashumayela kunama progressives on the one side bese on the other side kunalaba conservative kodwa yena njengemfundisi he has to remain neutral kakhulu lokuba neutral kakhulu kuleli live lenkosi ngiveka kanjalo mina nakasho umlangeni waphinda wafuna wa-addressa futhi issue leyakhulunywa ngiso silo se respect kuze kube ne dialogue waphinda futhi wakhuluma nendzaba yabafundisi ukuthi ize ingwenyama ikhuluma ngeliplango abechaza ukuthi everything must be said through irrespect ngilo olunye lakushida umlangeni so chaza ke ngendzaba yekuthi into ofuna ihambe ngendlela yakhona esigabeni kakhulu njeke separlamente uthi eParliament iningi indlela ekuyenda into uyabalobhisha abantu ukuze ukuthi into tonke iqhubeke ihambe ngendlela yakhona kanjani benkosi lenhle okuningi kevele ngoba bengikhuluma nomfundisi bevele ukuthi iqaphu lapha nalapha benkosi leshumayelweni kwakhanya sichaza nasi sesakhile khona lapho abantu bebakhuluma nebenkosi bakhulumenza abaningi kakhulu labanye bakhona labaningi noko bokhanza ukuthi mhlambe sebashaya inhlamba lengese ngitisho lapha emoyeni labanye nebenkosi lenhle bavele bakhonzana namgco ukuthi wena umbutelani umhlangeni ukuthi weba yini kanti nawe weba cabanga yami indaba ngithi ayikhuluma le akusiko this is not my forum then ukuthi ngiyikhulume le ndaba bangwane yami indaba yenze kakhulu kuyahle umlangeni ngisemhlulisa indaba yabe yenze kakhulu kufuna nje ngithole ithuba bangwane bakusho ukuthi abangiyiteka cishe all the time so kufuna ngithole ithuba lokuthi nase ngiphiza unayiphinza futhi nangithubeka nje nibute ngase sengenda nje naphela iCovid nganibita futhi nangiforum sike sizokhuluma especially nalabo bebakhona lapha ukuthi niyakhumbula nalokho kanjani benkosi bese ke sebathi ke labanye lo mhlangano lona ngumhlangano wamangololo ngoba nachawe ngumangololo wena kunene ungangibita noma ngabe ngiyini kepha as a journalist you become a devil's advocate and you have to remain neutral ubute ngala nangala bese niyadithathela ke nesinqumo senu nangiphuma ngaphandle ke bekunene sengisekhaya kithi nami indaba ngilele ngingiko kepha mangila ngeke ngithathe side benkosi lenhle mabe ngiyalithatha side ngiyaxolisa kakhulu nabe kanjalo ujabulile sijabule nawe inkosi lonke lokukhohlwa lapha futhi abaningi bebasho amen la basho hallelujah a majority of them bebabhala kanjalo khona la uyabona ke ukuthi bantu inkosi abayinza onye njengemandla abanye babhekele labanye babhekele so siyabonga kakhulu nje inkosi ukuthi lokukhulumile egcine kwakhona bakuvile labanye bakhona kanjalo futhi inkosi sibonga ukuthi labanye bathandazelekile into leningi kakhulu bakhekile nasemoyeni nebenkosi lenhle lokunye lengakusho lapha abangwane ukuthi angingedwana lapha elihlelweni sibambisene namajaha lamanye into kakhulu oyena producer welihlelo lapha ngikhanyisile mabuza ubambisene nabo lapha abogcebile intshangase naye lapha Julisa wakamamba nebenkosi lenhle khona lapha eTikinobheni bese ke sekuthi lapha futhi lomnyelo site kakhulu nguye lapha gcina wakamadonsela bese kuthi ngala ngakuflow sinaye lapha Bexisa wangikhambule base ngichiko nebenkosi lenhle njalo lapha seliyaphenduka bekunene belihoba lahamba lapha liyakama bekunene uyabona silokhu kufika abafundisi kufa abafundisi lapha kuyakha abangwa noba asikhulumi lutho sinasisho lutho sinenza abakusemsebenzini kodwa bathi abafemba labafundisi bajahule bozo kuyasebenza le timing akusi timing le verse bese ke nebenkosi kuba nasililo kaMbhamani lapha cha nkosana usimjana lo lisitakele kakhulu bekunene kufikeni kwalo lapha kwakhanya ukuthi cha uyanto sesikhathi kuba nema perfumes la yabe khona kodwa kuma perfume lapha kama tops yathi tops inkosi tops ngantolo ethi balapha eceleni kwanza ukuthatha uba bazuyalalela hawu lapha kunukani la nyalo sekonke right khona kuva kunuka nje lapha kude mos eva sikhaya manje livangela sebenzele livangela le inkosi
wasala phasi tops
amen Mbhamani Asincheko lapho bekosinhle stanisha enelijale bekosinhle libonga sona silo semhlaba ingonyama nisisale kahle.
Kwezindema sibekela mgungudu weimpondo ziphumule njeni ngabe enkomeni izisabani. Wawulila ngaphesheya kendvulo khombe Yemaswati. Wawulila ngaphesheya kendvulo khombe abalondolozi. Siguduza kumnyama kuhlule. Sigidigidi sakamapani. Mswati ungiphiqile. Ngisho ngalesikhulu semnyama engane sibashisile bakwetele indase eBlue ngalo zithakala ngqabani. Namale mahlele sikhwahlende kamlumbi ngani usibonile leso sikhuni. Uthi sakathi jikijele kangwane sangamlanzele etinyaweni. Kwasha iningizimu Afrika yongana. Kwayikwethuka sigodlo kaZulu. Kwakhangele mankengane kwakhetha umthandayo. Kwayikwethuka eMandebele neMaqhosa. Mswati usimanga. Ingani ulidvala libhlophe libusheleleti. Luna kalisotela nyathela amahalinyane. Mswati ungiphiqile. Ngisho kale ngoletsheni kababe kangwane kamhlokotla. Ingani ihlelo lugodvweni tayihleka tinyoni. Tayihleka netaka amabhela kalanga.